Okay. Sigrid, sollen wir die kurze Runde mit der Frage gleich machen? Schon, oder? Und dann, so hello everybody, we are very glad to see you. I know it was now a long pause because everybody was busy and we had Christmas and the New Year, and then I had this big anniversary show of my radio show. So very busy times, but now we start our coaching year, and now we will make it like every 2 or 3 weeks again. I hope we can have this written. And I told you because I was so glad and also pleased that you, and I think everybody here in this round is a role model for something. And so many, when I had this big anniversary and had this big show for 3 hours last Sunday, I got the message also from many of my listeners, and I'm glad because I never, you know, when I did what I did, I was never focused being a role model, but you know, you just do it, and then other people tell you, okay, I would like to do the same because you contribute to that we are having a better world, or you show that also my young colleagues, very many told me they are 20, 25, like Martin, some of you know, the photographer. They were writing me long messages that they just watch me when I'm doing my work, and they see how I put my efforts and how I'm focused, and that they have a good example in what I'm doing. So I would be interesting because I think everybody of you is, you know, in some respect like that. What you would like to be, as I told you in our WhatsApp group, in what respect would you like to be a role model? And I think we make a short round to warm up here, and then I will pass on to Sigrid. Sergio, please start.
Yeah. For me, I will be means I should do something outside my job. This is the first characteristic I should give to the younger ones.
Yes.
Like you are doing all ZUKI, you are doing your personal job as well as handling our big organization. I would also focus on the characteristics, not to be afraid to do something which is very unique. Sometimes when like persons, they don't they pretend to be something but they are not. So then another characteristic, to show respect and concern for others. Maybe he is a younger or elder than me. Then the last, maybe I should always have that willingness to admit my mistakes if I have done any wrong and I'm just hiding it. This should not be my characteristics.
Very good points. This is also, it's not easy to confess that you did something that it's right. It's a big, it's not easy to tell this. I know many people who are not able to do it. And you want to be the pioneer, like you told. You want to do something, you want to be brave enough to do to dare to do something for the first time. Interesting point. Jagat, in what respect would you like to be a role model?
I'm a person who tries, every time I find positive in negative also. So if anybody wants to follow me, or I want to be, if I become some role model for someone, he or she should learn from me. Some of the qualities are I have this thing. I'm getting nervous. So first thing is I have this ability to overcome the obstacles that come in front of me. Second thing, every time I find positive in every negative situation. These are the two things I have. And from Sigrid, I have learned one thing. If anybody does a mistake, I don't find his fault. I just think in my mind, what is my mistake?
And so what is the story behind?
Yeah, what is the story behind?
So you're not blaming.
These are the three qualities I have.
Yeah, Very good. Great. I thought that I will now have many similar points, but already you and Surcho are telling lots of different things. Subhasis, thank you, Jagat. Subhasis, in what respect would you like to be a role model? For instance, for the children I posted yesterday, the pictures on the newly admitted children in the hostel. If you unmute your microphone, Subhasis, please.
Sorry. Yes, from my childhood, I've been very helpful to my friends, and I would always want my juniors to be helpful to others. And that's it.
Yes, very important to think also about, what the others are feeling if they need some help and not be egoistic. Thank you, Subhasis. Raju.
Hello.
Same question. Hello, Raju. In what respect would you like to be a role model for instance, younger ones?
I would always be honest. I think this I have practiced from childhood. I'm quite honest. Then for my juniors also, honesty also. I think they can learn. Then honesty. Then means what to say, means curious, means I was means from childhood I was a little bit curious about things that I don't know. So this is the thing which my juniors can take. And the other thing is that my friend Subhasis told that helping, means sharing something with others that can be helpful to others.
That's true. Yes. So many ask also me, because I'm doing my radio shows for 25 years, why I'm not tired of doing it. And I said, it's the curiosity. If you keep on being curious for what people are telling you and learning, then you're never tired of anything. So I agree with you. Thank you, Raju. Anuradha. As I told you, you are already a role model in making really big efforts and for instance, coping with the entrance, not the entrance, what not an end, but being admitted to a governmental college. We are very glad about this, and I know it was not easy. So you had to take big efforts, haven't you?
Yes, exactly. It was not easy. Thank you, Claudia. I think that before being a role model, first of all, I need to be actually everyone is not perfect. So I think before being a role model, I have to be a best version of myself, and then only automatically everyone is going to follow me. So I would like to develop myself and inculcate different personalities so that everyone will automatically follow me.
It's interesting. You're right. It's as I told that, it was never my plan being a role model. And you are surprised. I was surprised that people see it, but it's as you say, if you're like stable as a personality, then people just tell that.
And then I would like to question myself whether I am capable, anyone can. I have to be inspired from myself first, and then only I can think that everyone else is going to be inspired from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good answer. Moidul, have you thought about it? How you would like to become a role model, or in what respect you want to inspire people?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Yes, I have many good qualities and which can inspire others and my juniors. Okay, so how many I have to say? Only 3 points?
Few points, yes. It's the warm-up round, and then we can come. Yes.
So one thing which I really put focus on is like being hygienic. Like I like to stay clean, so I think that's very important. and I also like I'm friendly and talkative. I have seen like I like to talk to people, and I think I can learn a lot of things by talking to others, because everyone has something to give. So that is another point. And another thing is like I can save money and I can spend money wisely. I think that's also a very important thing. And I don't care what people think about me using my old things or old clothes, but I can, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Very interesting points. So everybody has new topics, bringing up
so
new
much.
topics. Thank you, Moidul. Sona, what about you? Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, tell us about your qualities, which could inspire other people.
Yes, I would like to request my junior to respect everyone in order to gain respect back. And then last one, I would say to take my sports ability. Never underestimate anyone in the game. That's it.
In a game, you mean like a basketball game, or which kind of game?
Everywhere. Field, never. Yeah.
Okay, also very interesting. Thank you. Kenai, what about you?
Hello. Good evening, everybody present over here.
Hi.
Firstly, when I was small, I got admitted to ZUKI, and all the ZUKI members were my role model and still my role model. And these new children, they have also now got admitted to ZUKI. So like me, they will also find a role model. And I think that my effort that I gave, and now I'm college, and further on future time I will be in doing job. Maybe seeing this, they will find that yes, this brother have given its effort and became so successful. So I think in this way I can be a role model to them. And I'm a bad boy as well as I am a good boy. When I was very small, I was really very bad boy. I failed in class 1. From then I improved. So after listening this story, they will get to know that the brother failed in class 1. Then after failing class 1, he just got good marks and created a name tag. Means I was like improving in a good way. So I think this is also a quality of mine. And I love friends. I love all my friends. This is also a good quality. And one more thing, I can understand people by looking at their face, the way they talk. But I didn't got any review. But I myself believe that, yes, I can understand people. That's the quality of mine.
Interesting.
And I think I can be a role model.
Okay, so you're, as you said, you're taking hard efforts and you improved also in your manners. And
Yes.
very interesting points in your the inspiration you are giving Assad. What about you?
Hello everyone, good evening. For the ZUKI children, new ZUKI children, I have already worked with them. And the picture I've seen, the last 2 pictures, the boy was standing, they are both brothers. I've also worked with them and they know me very well. I was the teacher for them, and they were my students, so they know me well. And like a role model, I can tell that never underestimate yourself. Try to grab all the opportunities, all the chances you get in your life. There is nothing difficult in your life until you make it difficult or hard. So go and enjoy your life and take all the opportunity, and finally we'll get the success no matter what situation you face. Like the thing, I take up very difficult tasks, very difficult, challenges, and I don't know. But with my full confidence, I work on that, and finally I get successful. I worked in Sundarban also, giving them counseling, then giving motivational speech. So I worked anywhere and many places, and everyone know me well, and they want me to be as like their teacher, their counselors. So I have already been a role model, and also I've got a lots of comments from ZUKI that I am the testimonial. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Asad. It's true. You have been a very good example in many respects. Biswajit, good evening. So your answer to this question, in what respect would you like to be a role model?
Yes, good evening, everyone. First of all, being a role model, I think, actually, I am from the Bengali medium student, and now I'm studying English medium. So for those, I will, what I say, my process from Bengali medium to English medium. So it's a help those students who are from the Bengali medium.
Mm-hmm. So that you can make it, even if you come from a Bengali medium background, you can learn English. And yes, it's very impressive.
They have also fear about that. Yes, it helps also them also.
Yes, you're right. We have many. They should be like you and having a big ambition also to learn English and do more. Thank you, Biswajit. So we have 3 more. Milon, Soidel, and Sanat. So Milon, what about you? Being now in Bangalore, hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
So yeah.
So like I have seen myself in a position that when I'm with my friends, so I make the moment very enjoyable. So I would like to pass this quality to them, that just enjoy the process of being in hostel and enjoy with your friend, and make enemies and fight with them also, because they will also help you, because you will understand each and everything when you like, and always like not always you have to be a good one. So like sometimes be bad one, because if you don't know about this world, how it's going in a bad situation also. So just I would like to tell them that also know the bad things, what's going on, and also the good thing. And I would like to also tell them that stay with the truth. Always stand up for the truth. Whatever you feel, the truth or the right thing, just stand up for that one.
Okay. Interesting. So also not being just the angel, knowing also about the other side of life. Soidul, hello, good to see you with us. Soidul, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. So tell us about in what respect you would like to be a role model.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, we hear you. So go ahead, we can hear you.
Good evening, everyone, and happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you.
Personally, so it really sounds very good when our upcoming student from ZUKI, if they look us as a role model. Well, each and everyone has something good and something bad, but probably it will be very good if our upcoming children look the good side of each of their role model, whoever they choose. If they choose me or Kanai or Jagatsu, whoever they choose, that will be a very good. But I would like to suggest to the upcoming children who are the new came, that there should be a patience. If not that, after class 12 or after class 10 pass, they should not feel like that, oh, what I will do now, or I haven't done anything, I haven't achieved anything. It's like that. You must have patience, because each and every individual has their own timeline. Maybe Tinku have got the job today. It's not that you haven't got today. Maybe you will get tomorrow. So be patient and you will be successful in your life.
Okay. So if you think that success also needs some patience, that it's not, but also hard effort, no? Don't you think so?
Yes.
But also patience is a bigger, yes, you're right. This is, success doesn't come from, like you say, from yesterday to, was sagst du, was sagt man da auf Englisch? Über Nacht, wenn wir sagen über Nacht, Sabine, sag.
Du bist stumm.
We can't hear you, Sabine. Aha. Okay.
Yeah. I'm unmuted. We say it doesn't
come overnight, or it doesn't
really?
come from today to tomorrow, so the same.
It's the same like in German. Thank you. Okay, so the last one is Sanat. Sanat, for this first warming up question, in what respect would you like to be a role model?
First of all, good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Hi.
For instance, if you want to be a role model in ZUKI hostel, first of all, you have to avoid lying in front of your juniors and seniors.
Lying.
Then you have to
telling lies.
You have to
okay.
Telling lies, and you cannot yell at them, you cannot shout at them, or you cannot shout at your senior also. As I have experienced, but that was bad. For if I want to give my good quality to them, I will suggest them not in front of them, not to yell at your senior also and junior also, and respect everyone in front. The way you respect your teacher, principal, father, respect your junior also the same way as you respect them, and and adopt a healthy life in front of them so they can follow you and be happy. And you have to be happy for your hostel life, and you have to be grateful whatever you are getting in your hostel.
Okay, and grateful. Yes, gratitude is a big part, I think, also of happiness, that you feel happy. Thank you, everyone. So it was interesting to listen to your very different, so many very interesting answers. And now I pass on to Sigrid, who will discuss the homework. Maybe you will also refer to these answers we just heard. So thank you, Sigrid, for spending your time and giving us your time, your valuable time for this third coaching session with you.
Hello, everybody. That's me again. Third time. It was quite touching for me to listen to all your answers. And I would like to say to all of you, you all, I think, are role model in whatever life gives you. In whatever condition you are, you have something inside of yourself that you always can overcome something. You always can overcome problems. You always find a solution. You're never, never, never victims of anything. That's so important. And I think I don't know all of you, but I think you really prove it. So I think you, in that way, for me personally, you're already a role model. So what we are doing today is, I got all your homeworks. Thanks a lot. And I asked myself, what could be the best way to give my feedback, my recommendations on your homework. And I thought it that way. First of all, thanks a lot for all the nice feedback I got on my 2 coaching sessions. For all, I got a lot of red hearts and very nice feedback. Thanks a lot. So how I would like to do it today is, I did read all your homeworks, and due to the fact that today we don't have such a lot of time, and also I think your homeworks, the problems you described are also quite personal. I decided that way that I give you today some feedback on, let's say, like misunderstandings concerning the work. I'm aware of that. You can't be perfect in doing the work already. So I just summarized all the little misunderstandings I found in your homeworks. And I think this could be quite helpful for all of us, because these misunderstandings I found almost in every homework. So that's, and I summarized it on a Word document, that you can get it afterwards also in a written form. Secondly, what I would like to do today is, I would like to take one problem or one topic, and I would like to do this kind of topic with all of you, to go through the work with this kind of topic, and we did choose a topic together with Sabine, and we thought this topic is quite useful for all of you, because probably all of you have a similar thinking or a similar problem. So that's what I would like to do today. And that I don't forget it, if you would like to discuss the problem statement, what you did in your homework with me personally, I'm always prepared that we can do your problem statement, you know, together. So just write me on WhatsApp, and we define an appointment, and we always can do it in a personal way. Yeah? So I present. Can I upload, Malis, my document?
Okay.
Because it's deactivated.
Okay, just a moment. Yes.
Okay. Can you see it? Can you see my Word document?
Yeah,
Can you see that? So today I didn't really want to do a presentation. I just did a summary of the, as I already said, the misunderstandings I found in your homeworks. So first of all, for me, it's quite important, you know, just to tell you how important it is that you do your homeworks. And I just can tell you, based on studies, we know that if you learn something new, you just got it, and you just you just learned something when you take the new theory, and if you use it with own examples. So it's extremely important to practice what you have learned, and that's the reason behind the homeworks. For example, if you just listen to speeches, if you go to workshops, and I just listen to presentations, and that's all what I do. I just realized for myself and with my clients, you almost forget everything. But if you really use the new theory and use it with own examples, that's the best way to learn something. So that's the reason behind the homeworks. So extremely important also for the future, not just, you know, for the work, for the future. Really use your time, use best your time, find examples, make your homeworks. And a second advice is, when you do your homework and when you look for examples, always take examples that are really bothering you, that are really helping you in your daily life. So whenever you find examples, again, always try to find examples that really can help you in your daily life. And third, I'm aware of all of you, we are busy, but, you know, give your best. Don't rush through the homework. Give your time, and it's the best when so you get the best benefits out of the homework. So that's the first point. I really recommend to all of you, do your homework. The best way of learning is practicing. So what you've heard, practice the theory in your homeworks. Second point, I would like, due to the fact that we saw each other weeks ago, I would like to do a brief summary, a brief review of the work, that we remember what we have learned. So the work is a therapy that is used mainly to address problems in life. So whenever people have problems, whenever you have stressful situations, the work is a very good therapy form. And I can tell you, when I have clients, whatever the problem is, I can't remember a coaching session without doing the work. So the work is just my experience. It's not that that's the only therapy I know, but, you know, my experience is that the work always gives a good answer. So whatever problem you have, whatever problem you face, doing the work, so the therapy form of the work is an extremely good tool for address problems, to address stressful situations. And the next question is, let's just repeat, how is the work working? The work is convinced that not the situation itself is the reason for a problem, but your mindset which is lying behind. So probably you remember the example what I gave you with my husband. Normally he's phoning me every evening, and there was one evening he was not phoning me, so that's the situation. My husband one evening wasn't phoning me. It's not a problem. But what was really my problem was the negative mindset behind, and one negative mindset can be probably had an accident and he's in the hospital. So the work tells not the situation itself is raising a problem, but the negative mindset, or Byron Katie says to the negative mindset, she calls it the story. The story what you have towards a situation, this is making you a stressful situation. This is the reason for problems. So that's the work is convinced that, again, because it's so important that you get it, not the situation itself gives you a problem, but how you think about the situation, that is making the problem. So when we do the work, it's extremely important to be aware of what is my negative mindset towards a situation, towards a problem, towards a person. So I have to become aware of my negative mindset behind. Otherwise, the work does not work. And what is important to tell you is, for sure, it is not always easy to find the negative mindset behind. That's the reason why I said, don't rush through homeworks. Don't rush through examples. When I do the work with clients, it takes sometimes a lot of time to find the mindset behind, because the reason is the negative mindset is not, we are not always aware of it. And sometimes we have a negative mindset since years, or sometimes all of my life I have this negative mindset. So I'm not aware of what I'm thinking all the time. So just be aware of finding the negative mindset behind is how the work works. So just describing the situation does not help. You have to find a negative mindset behind, and then it takes time. I discussed with Sabine a situation, and also she said, and she became aware of it, it's a process. It's sometimes even meditation helps if you want to find the negative mindset or the turnaround. And the way of getting rid of the problem is, as I said, finding the negative mindset. And the work offers 5 questions that help to become aware of the negative mindset, to address the negative mindset, and to change the negative mindset. So this is a brief summary of the work. And for me, it's now important to ask you, do you understand what the work is all about? Do you understand what the theory is behind the work? Do you understand how the work is addressing problems? Because there are different ways of therapies, and every therapy is working differently. But do you understand how the work is working in addressing problems? Or do we have still questions, or do you understand it? No questions? So you understand?
How about people put their hand up if they've got a question, or put their hand, or put a thumbs up if they understand, so Sigrid gets some feedback.
The problem just is that I don't see all of you when I have my presentation.
Okay.
Sigrid, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like, please correct me if I go wrong. So like I'm telling you what I've understood. Actually, when we have some, I understand that our stress is not caused by primarily not by the reality or the situation, but by what we think. I mean, the stories we tell it to ourselves. So, because the realities or the situations are less worse. I mean, they are not as bad as the stories we tell to ourselves. So
right.
we must first address the problems. I mean, the stress that is causing us. So then we have to go through the 5 questions.
Totally right. You said, sure, we have situations that are quite difficult, but we make it much more difficult when we have a wrong mindset.
Yes.
Can you give us an example? You said it, I mean, totally right what you said. I can't comment anything wrong, everything right, but can you give us an example? As you said, it's not the situation itself that's making a problem, but my mindset behind. Give me a situation. Give me an example.
I have to think, Sigrid.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think of a situation. I haven't thought yet.
Sigrid, I have a question. What happens means if you are thinking means if the situation means the reality, if it is means more worse than your thought process, then what we will do? Means you are saying our thought process we need to means take lightly. So if we take lightly, if the reality becomes more worse, then our brain will be not prepared. So what in that way, how we can means?
Jack, give me an example. So what you're saying is, what can we do when the reality is quite challenging? So when the reality itself is extremely challenging,
then yeah, means we maybe for an example, he has not taken my phone call, so I have taken lightly and I thought maybe he is busy. This can also happen in reality, that he had an accident. So now I am taking lightly, means my brain means now it is taking lightly and I am okay with it. But when I will I will know the reality, then means my brain will it will become worse. So in that condition, means how I will manage.
So if I understand it right, is, let's say I realized that my husband really had an accident. It's terrible. Yeah. I even don't want to think about it. Yeah. But even when he has an accident, by my negative thinking, I can make it worse. For example, just a personal thing, what I tell you, my first boyfriend died when he was 27 years old. So having this kind of experience, because it was due to an accident, having this experience can influence my thinking, realizing that my husband had an accident. So I have to stop my thinking and saying, this is in another situation. You know, he's in the hospital, and it does not mean that he's dying, that he's also dying like my first boyfriend was dying. So you are right. We all have situations that are extremely difficult. I had a client 1 week ago. Her husband died. It's terrible. I don't want to even think about it. But you know, we can make it worse, even much worse, when we think about the situation in an extremely negative, in a way that which is not right. You got the point? I don't say that the work helps and you don't have any problems at all anymore. Sure that we face difficult situations, all of us. But what makes a big difference is, even when I have a very difficult situation, how I think about it. You know what I mean? Or another example, my mother had cancer 15 years ago, and the situation was terrible. And all the doctors said probably they were convinced that she won't make it and she will live only 1 year. And I just decided for myself, you know, my mother, the health of my mother is not based on statistics. Probably she will make it. And this makes a difference. When I always think, you know, my mother will die after 1 year, or when I think, I am convinced we do our best, God is helping, whatever, and she will make it. I'm convinced we're doing the best that she will make it. It makes a difference. You know what I mean? How I think about the situation, even if the situation is extremely difficult, makes a difference, because my thinking is just my thinking. It's not reality. You can't prove if the thinking is right or not. You understand what I mean? Did I answer your question?
Yes.
So even if you face a difficult question, it makes it much more difficult when you think about the situation in a terrible and not right way.
Can I just add one thing?
Sure, Sabine.
Jagat, I understand what you say. Sometimes maybe the reality is bad and you're not prepared. But who wants to prepare for something that's bad? That's not really what anybody wants to prepare for. And I don't think you can prepare for something that's dreadful. If it happens, you maybe need other techniques to help you cope. But we plan and we counsel ourselves because we try to look for better scenarios rather than preparing for worse ones. That's sort of the point of counseling, is to help improve a situation and not to plan for a worse one. And so with the example Sigrid brought of her mother, I think you all know that my son is very ill. And statistically, I could plan for something terrible happening, but that would not help our day-to-day life together. It wouldn't help me be joyous and enjoy time with him. It wouldn't help me encourage him to find all the positives in every day that he has if I'm planning for maybe something bad happening. So I don't plan for that. If it were to happen, I will need help in a different way. My whole plan is that I have a very positive mindset, and so does he, and that we can enjoy every day and make all the opportunities that each day provides us, because he's not a statistic, as Sigrid said. There are outliers always, people that don't have the normal pattern with an illness. And so far, it's proving to be right. He's proving to be one of those people that doesn't show the normal pattern. So my mindset is encouraging his mindset, and together I think that helps enormously. And the possibility that something bad might happen gets pushed further away, and that means our life is much more happy and fulfilled.
Means if you are positive, then the environment, it will not become worse, the present environment.
Exactly. I can't change what will happen. I can't change it, but I can change all the little things that make our day-to-day life a better life and keep us open for all the positive things that we can do to keep him healthy, to keep optimistic. But if I'm planning for something terrible happening, then we stop thinking about good things. We get wrapped up in in negative emotion and in fear. And fear never leads to anything good happening.
Yes. And there's the law of attraction. If you send negative vibes to the universe, more negative things will come. And if you send positive vibes to the universe, more positive things will come. So this is also important in this point.
Understood.
I can give you another example. When my mother, because she had, you know, she had cancer, and it was extremely important to get an operation. And I was aware of how important it is in what kind of attitude medical doctors did the procedure. And I asked all the medical doctors if I could give some coaching before the procedure. So I did a coaching session with 5 medical doctors in the procedure room, telling them how important it is, what kind of attitude they have towards my mother. And there were 2 medical doctors I could choose. And I decided for the medical doctor who had a positive attitude towards my mother. There was one that said, "Oh, that is a terrible cancer, she won't make it." And I said, that's the wrong attitude. How do we know that she's gonna make it in 1 year? And the other one said, there's something between us and God what we don't know, and I will do the procedure in that attitude that your mother will make it. And I tell you something, she is healthy. It's now 15 years ago. She's healthy, and the cancer, you know, she doesn't have cancer anymore. And I'm sure the medical doctors were important, sure the medicine, what she got, but I think the attitude of all the people doing the treatments, and even her attitude as well, made a big difference. Very, very good question, and I hope
that's what I was going to tell you, that why the doctor means give this information means your mother will not make it in, means after 1 year she will not be able to make it, means why they give this bad news, means
good question. The problem is, you know, and I mean, as you know, my husband is also a medical doctor. There are statistics, there are studies, what kind of cancer you have. There are certain kind of statistics, and they just told us, we have to tell you that it's quite a severe cancer, and the maximum what she has is 1 year. So answering your question is, they gave us the opinion on her cancer based on studies. But we decided that my mother is much more than the statistics, and she proved it. It doesn't say that, you know, everybody, you know, just the mindset is important. Sure, she had, you know, she had a lot of luck, a lot of whatever, but you know, the mindset makes a difference. And she also was convinced, I'm gonna make it. I'm so convinced that I will make it, and she proved it. So the mindset is extremely important, and what Marlene says is totally true. Your attitude comes back to you. Other questions? Do we understand now what the negative mindset behind the work means? That we have to address the mindset, that just describing the situation doesn't help in doing the work. So the mindset is important.
I can just interrupt you for one thing. I think also the founding of ZUKI is a good example for because addressing Malis. It was 20 years ago, and I was not there. I started 15 or 16 years ago, as you know. But maybe you can describe a little bit. I think so many people told you not to do it, Malis. And your mindset, then you are always positive. Yes, was the foundation of everything, you know, that we are here now in this group. Maybe you can tell a little bit about it, about your mindset when you were founding it.
If I was asked in which kind I could be a role model, so it's certainly of not giving up. And
yes,
if one way is blocked, so I'm instantly, automatically looking for the next one. So I'm just like that. I cannot stop doing this, always finding ways, solutions, which bring me near to my next goal. And yes, when ZUKI started, it was very, very small until Claudia came. But Xavier didn't stop taking children in.
But what did people tell you, Marlies? What did the people also in Austria tell you when you started with it? Were there also negative mindsets around you? Some people telling you not to do it?
Not really negative mindsets, but not encouraging mindsets. So maybe there were people who helped in the beginning, but just a few ones. So when we finally could welcome Claudia at ZUKI, we had already more than 200 children, 110 in Kolkata, 110 in Sundarbans, and we had only 60 sponsors in total. So it was not possible to continue. But Xavier was convinced every child he takes in will find a sponsor. So he knew already. He sent already the positive vibes, and I was just asking the universe, please send me somebody who can make a turnaround. So Claudia.
And then I fell from the sky in front of your nose.
Okay, yes, but it was really a desperate situation. Just before you came, we really told each other in the ZUKI board, we cannot continue like this. We stand in front of a wall because he doesn't stop taking children and we cannot find sponsors.
There's no money. Yes, yes. So for me, it's just an example. Also, your mindset for what Sigrid told us, that the mindset is the most important, and you are really the role model for me for having a positive mindset.
Yes, so, and I will not stop taking in children. So my I don't have limits. That's also maybe I push my limits. If there are more children, I push my limits a little bit further.
Okay, so thank you, Sigrid. Because it's the story of everybody being here is the story of ZUKI also. It's like related to everybody here. That's why I also wanted to give this example.
It's exactly 20 years. We started in January 2002.
Really?
Exactly 20
okay,
years.
We didn't celebrate. We have to.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Marlies.
Yes, 20 years back. So
I can tell you, I had the same situation when I decided to become a professional coach. They all told me, forget it. There are thousands of coaches in Austria. So forget it. You want to get a client, forget what you would like to do. And I just had a belief. I thought I have an experience, I have something to say, I have something to contribute. And at the end, everybody was wrong. So I think your mindset is extremely important, and that's what the work tells you. Next point, what is very important when you do the work, before you start doing the 5 questions, it's very important to have a clear, concrete, and complete problem statement. What I saw in your homeworks, you described a problem situation, but it was not really clear. It was not concrete. It was not complete. And we know, based on studies, we know the clearer you are expressing your problem, the better you will solve your problem. So there are a lot of studies. I just remember one study that's saying 40% of the solution comes from the problem definition. So everything starts when you are really clear about your problem. So for example, when I have a client, it often takes 1-2 hours to define the problem. And then we can start, because when you start with a problem statement that is unclear, that is not complete, that is probably not the problem, it leads you to a direction where, it leads you to a path that doesn't help. So remember, when you do the work, and this can take time. So again, don't rush. take your time to ask yourself, what is my problem? What is my concrete problem? What is really my problem? And the positive is that the work gives you a structure for expressing the problem. So we all know the structure. The structure is, it actually consists of 2 or 3 parts. The structure is, and you got it in your homeworks, I am, then comes the feeling. For example, I feel anxious about, so what is the problem, a person, a situation, and then very important, and I can tell you almost everybody forgot to write the because. So if you just describe something in the way I am about person situation and then stop, the problem statement is not complete, because after the because comes your negative mindset, or as Byron Katie says, after the because comes the story. And this is so important. So when you do the work and when you ask yourself, based on what problem I would like to do the work, first, very important, and it takes time, think about your problem in a clear, concrete, and complete way. So the complete way means I am about, and don't forget the because. The because is the limited belief, is the negative mindset, is the limited mindset, or as Byron Katie says, the story. So the most important is the because. You understand it? Because I saw in your homeworks quite often that you describe a problem, you know, in a lot of different sentences, and you didn't follow the structure. And it's so important, especially when you are at the beginning of doing the work, but even I do it. When I face quite a difficult situation and I sit down with a sheet of paper and I write down the problem in the structure I gave you. This is extremely important, facing out what is the problem and what is the negative mindset behind. So important is follow the structure. Question? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Or do you have questions?
Sigrid?
Yeah?
We could maybe use, because it was there before, so it's not private, we could maybe use Sujo's example.
Yes, I actually did write it down. I have it.
Aha.
Got you. Here you are. Didn't forget anything. So name the negative belief, the story, and don't just describe the situation. Sujo, you said, I'm stressed with my classmates when I enter the canteen, the restaurant. Yeah? When we take that sentence, do you realize now that the sentence is not complete?
Yes.
The reason why you are stressed is not just entering the canteen. The reason why you were stressed, well, I did write it down. I'm stressed with my classmate when I entered the canteen, and now the because. Now comes your story, and you said, when I remembered right, they think that I'm from a low caste, they think that I have no fancy t-shirts, whatever. This is the mindset, and this was stressing you. Sure, Suju?
Yeah, 100%.
Sabine,
yeah.
That's the example, huh?
That's the example.
This is the difference. And I saw in your homeworks, especially, that you stopped after when I entered the canteen. I couldn't read the story behind. Do you understand it, what I mean?
Yeah.
And it won't help.
I got it.
Yeah. And it was so, when we did it, Sujo, this made a big difference, because then we challenged you. If it's right that they really think that I am from a low caste, or that they really think that I have no fancy t-shirts. Huh? How is it now, Sujo? I'm interested, because I don't know if you go to university
I'm in
right
home.
now.
It's lockdown. I'm back to my home.
Now he's back in Kolkata. He's not in Mumbai anymore.
Okay.
But after the coaching, you told me you have been still some weeks, and then you felt much more self-confident, didn't you?
Yes.
It was like that, huh?
Yeah.
But
and most of the friends
process, Suchu. So when you had the chance last year to go to university, enter the canteen, did you say to yourself, Suchu, it's not true. Don't be stressed. It's not because of cast, not fancy t-shirt, everything not true.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing was going.
Great. It made such a difference, huh? Great. But so all of you understand what I mean by that? So you mainly, when I did read your homeworks, you mainly stopped after just describing the situation. It's important, and again, it takes time. And sometimes we are not aware of it, what really is stressing me. It takes time, but don't stop. Look for the negative mindset behind. And the negative mindset, again, lies after the because. That's the reason why the structure, again, is I am feeling person, then because. I have a problem because. Everything clear?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you have written down your problem in that way, then you can ask yourself the 5 questions. And I have to say, I just saw probably 2 or 3 homeworks that followed the 5 questions. And I tell you, it won't help. If you have the work helps when you follow one question after the other. So start with question 1. Is it really true? Second question, can I be 100% sure that what I'm thinking is true? And we do that. We do the 5 questions afterwards in a problem statement, what we do together. But important is answer the questions one after the other, important, and then follow the sequence. It doesn't help when you first say something to question 3 or question 4. So there is a reason for the sequence of the 5 questions. But that's important. Because if you do the sequence, it helps you finding the negative belief, finding the right thinking, and getting rid of the stress. So there's a reason why Byron Katie is asking the 5 questions in this kind of sequence. Last point, I said it already a lot of times, take yourself some time. It does not mean that you have a problem, go to the 5 questions, rush through it, problem solved. Won't happen. It's a process. So I realized quite often with clients when we did the work based on a problem that they got it probably, I don't know, after 1-2 months when they came back, after 2, 3, 4 coaching sessions. It's a process. It's not always so easy to change a mindset because we probably have this kind of mindset since years, all our lifetime. And sometimes I realized that meditation helps, giving time helps. So give yourself some time. This is so important. And the last point is, we already said it last time, the work is not about thinking positive or thinking in a positive or in a negative way. It's about thinking in the right way. It's not that I have to be positive all the time. For example, I found an example in your homework. One said, there was no name written down. I'm stressed at the beginning of the examination time, was the problem statement. And the answer was, when the examination time comes, I have just to challenge myself to be positive. That's not what the work is about. You understand what I mean? So it's about that you challenge your negative. Sure, it's better thinking in a positive than in a negative way, but the work is about challenging your mindset. That is so important. So this was the summary of what I found when I was going through your homeworks, and I found this kind of, you know, misunderstandings, that you got that you did understand something in the wrong way. I almost found it in every homework. Is it now more clear what the work is about, how it works?
Yeah.
Yes. Any more questions? Is there something what you would like to say, experiences? Because afterwards I would like to do a problem statement together with you, that we go through the work, and I would like to do this kind of problem statement with all of you, because I think that everyone is facing a similar situation. Any more questions, or let's go through the problem situation? Sabine, Claudia, Marlies, questions?
Nope,
No,
I think, yeah.
Good.
I think an example would be good. Yes.
What I prepared is for today, the problem statement. I saw it 2 times in your homeworks. I worry about my future because of eventually not getting a job. I think this is a situation everybody is facing, no? Or has similar thoughts. So my question to you is, who is having similar thoughts? Do you know this kind of thinking? Do you know that?
Should we make hands up? I think, you know, it's not a secret. I'm sure many of you are knowing about these thoughts. So whoever had this thought or is having these thoughts or was thinking about it sometimes, could you raise your hand by giving this emoji reactions?
Mm-hmm.
I also had it when I was your age.
So it's quite a common problem. So my question is, let's collect, why are you worrying about the future that you probably won't get a job? Suchu, I don't hear you. Do you want to say something?
Pardon, please. Can you repeat?
So why are you worrying about the future that you probably won't get a job? What are your thoughts behind? What do you think?
Yeah,
so,
for me, it's maybe because of huge competition.
Of competition? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who else has an answer about his worries? What is behind?
There are lots of reasons are there. One reason is the people, those who are in offline, they're getting more experience, and we are doing the online work, means we don't see each other, means this interaction, means how we will interact with other.
Mm-hmm.
These things we are not getting.
Yes.
So when you are in the college, means this interaction, this offline doing coding, means when you are doing a project, the others also they also, means we also include them in the project. But when you are online, means you are alone, you have to do the project by yourself only.
Mm-hmm.
So this can be a reason.
Is there another one? Somebody else has another reason? I would be very interested, because it shows, you know, what kind of worries are occupying your minds. Subasis, you also raised your hand. What kind of?
Second reason is you are not that confident, means every day, if you get the experience every day, means in a class, if you go in front and if you means speak in front of them, so you get this confidence. So when you go for applying job, then you have this confidence that I can speak in front of them, and this is also means we are not getting.
So it's very much linked to the Corona situation that your worries became bigger and bigger because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody else?
Hello.
Raju Kamath? Yes, hi.
Yes, I think I will means definitely be worried if I don't get a job in future, because reason can be I want means I studied so much for my family. I want to means earn for my mother, means help my mother. I want to means have my own house. Means these were my means plan. Means then.
But these are your goals, and you mean because you have such high goals, then your worries become bigger and bigger. Because you think then if I don't get a good job, then I won't reach my goals. I can't buy a house. I can't help my mother. So there's like also pressure on you to reaching your goal and to having a job. Do you mean that?
Yes.
Yes. So
I
that's
think
why.
I took in a opposite way.
So you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Because the expectations are high, I suppose. Because I think your mother also is expecting you being successful, and so that you can help her one day.
Yes.
So it's also the expectations of the others around you, and your own too. No?
Yes.
Okay. Also
Other
very good.
reasons? Check your mindset.
Yeah.
Not just experience what kind of thoughts do I have, what kind of negative thoughts support, the thinking that I won't get a job. Other thinking.
Maybe some think about the situation of India, not only about the competition, but maybe that because of Corona, the economy is going down, and think pessimistic thoughts about the future, I could imagine. Okay, but we collected some kind of, lots of negative mindsets, Sigrid. So
hello.
We can work on that. Sanat, you have some more explanations. What is worrying you?
I'm worrying about my future because of the population.
Because of?
The population, because it's growing.
The population is out of control. If the population is out of control, that means everything is out of control. Suppose if you go for a government job, suppose there are 200 seats. 200 seats are there. Government knows it has 200 seats, but it will allow unlimited form fill up. You have to fill up the form, then this you have to do. Then there will be a 20 lakh students. They will fill the form for the exam.
Oh my God! So it's 2 million.
So it will be like a 1 lakh. One out of 1 lakh, only one student will be selected. So
incredible. Very hard.
Incredible India for this one only.
Incredible.
It's
so
very hard.
We heard a lot, why we won't find a job in the future. I would like to ask another question. Based on your experience, what is influencing the chance of getting a job or not? What is influencing, your personal chance of getting a job? So what you can actually contribute that it becomes more realistic to find a job. What can you do? What is your personal, what can you do? Because there are a lot of things that you can do, huh?
Every day means every day I am walking consistently. Means I have a routine, so every day I'm walking constantly. So I believe that because of my consistency, I can get this job.
Very good. So you have a target. You probably know already right now what kind of job you would like to have, and you are working one day after the other for that target. Very good. So it's actually your contribution day by day, huh?
Yes, contribution day by day, and that thing also means positively thinking. Means what happened in the future you don't know, but you should have this positive environment around you. Means you should believe.
But again, back to my question. I'm sure you have experienced how the situation in your work. So my question is, what is influencing that you get the job in the future? So we heard that you work day by day is quite important. But do you think, for example, as I said in my presentation when Claudia did the interview with me, my experience is that hard work is quite important. Are you facing the same situation? Would you say, as based on my experience, that hard working is quite important? That you really work quite hard for it?
Hello. Hello.
Azad?
Hi.
Yes, I think it's very the thing which influence us to get the job in future will be, we have to be very confident whatever we tell or do something. The interviewer, they always want the one who can represent themselves in a proper way and are very much confident within themselves. They don't require much qualification. They need the product, not the qualification. If the company gets the best product from that person, they will really hire that person. And I've also experienced it also, that whether it is a wrong answer or a correct answer doesn't matter, but the way you have to represent yourself and we have to confident, that is most important.
Very important. I think I told you once how people see you. Are seeing you in a presentation. It's not always the content, but it's how the way you communicate. So if you decide you go to a job interview and you are confident about yourself, that you tell yourself, I did my studies, I did my contribution, I worked hard, so I feel confident, I have a lot to offer, then then the job interview is in you present yourself in a different way. So confidence about yourself is extremely important. I always say, for example, it's difficult for a company to be confident about yourself if you don't show the confidence. If you're not confident about yourself, how shall others be confident about yourself? So it's extremely important. And we all have, we are not perfect. We can't be perfect, but that you say about yourself, I did some studies, I worked hard, I have a lot to show, I have a lot to offer, and I feel confident, makes a big, big difference. Very good. Confidence is very important because it's showing your attitude. Again, as Mali said, the attitude that you're showing leads what you actually get out of the interview. So confidence, very important. So we had consistently working one day after the other, being aware of the own target, what I can do, confidence about myself and show it and prove it is important.
Can I remind everybody about right at the beginning of coaching, and we were presenting ourselves and doing CVs, because the first thing that we always do when we apply for a job is send a CV, which is the first way we present ourselves. And that can be a very dull, uninspiring document, or it can be a very personal, full of strengths, characteristics, reasons why you are good for the job. Can any of you think back to that, or do you have any feelings about that as a tool as to why you might stand out from this crowd of 2 lakh people going for jobs?
Yes, absolutely.
Azad, what would you say is important to make you have a better chance than somebody else?
First of all, as Claudia also told in the first session, that we have to share our story. That is the main important. Not I have done this, I have a qualification, but you have to tell your story that I belong to this, and once I was from here, but now I am doing a good thing, and I have lots of experience. I have got lots of successful, and I can do much more better, and I can overcome every challenges. So that will make the interviewer much more very interesting and very attentive, that yes, this child, or I mean this candidate, have some kind of motivation and some kind of strength. So if we can hire him or her, it will be a more benefit for our company, because he can take all the chances. He didn't determine from which situation he comes or come from. He knows that he have the life, he have the chances, so he overtake everything and come up with a good successful result. So we have to share our stories.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right, Azad. You said, I'm aware of that I have good studies, I have experience, I can prove some success in my life. So I have a good story I can tell. And I think what we did at the beginning of the workshop today, when Claudia asked why you can be a role model, I think you have so many reasons why you are already role models. And this all together becomes a story. And it makes such a difference when you are aware of your story, having, for example, this kind of interview. So I always tell my clients when they have a job interview, write, before you have the job interview, write a good story before the interview. What is the reason why you think that you are the right person getting the job? And you get a lot of positive answers. And it's much different, because most of the people, or a lot of people, ask themselves, now I know the reasons why I won't get the job, and I do it differently. Yeah, ask yourself, what are the reasons I am the right person? And as you said it, you said I have good studies, I have experience, I did already prove success in my life. And with all this, with this story, and this story is your mindset, and your mindset makes a difference, for example, in a job interview. Very good. Other experiences? What helps? Because to become aware of, now we changed the mindset. We were extremely, negative before. We collected reasons why we won't get the job, and now we collect what we can do that we increase the chance to get the job. What is important? And we already heard confidence, being aware of their own success story, show it, say it, prove it, work hard. Other opinions?
What about networking?
Andy.
Who's speaking? Sonat?
Yes, I'm speaking.
Yes, carry on.
Like, if you want to achieve something, like your goal is to do, my target is to do suppose I will take my target as X. So I have to be focused on that one, and I have to be patient, and I have to set my mind in such a way that either I have to fulfill that particular thing, then only I can leave the thing and come down. Like I mean to say, never give up, never give up. You have to be very strong from inside, and mentally up to strong, and physically up to strong. You have to very. I have to do. I will do it. You have to will like that of motivation in yourself.
That's very
Self
true.
confidence should be.
Very good. Never give up. Totally right.
Is Soidul with us still? Because we haven't got the full screen. Is Soidul still there?
Yes, I'm there. I can hear you.
Okay, Soidul, can you tell us what did you do to get a job?
Well, I would, as per my experience, I have faced the interview, so I would like to share it.
Yeah.
I would like to share it because when I went to interview, it's almost maybe 40 to 50 candidates. 40 to 50 candidates were there, so they were all, each and everyone is there, educated, and everyone just carrying a good CV with experience. And there is a thing that you need to carry. 1 minute, is there sound is coming properly?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
It's just a moment. Sigrid, can you maybe put the whole screen now and take away the presentation so we can see the others a little bit bigger? Yes, yes, this is fine. Thank you, thank you. Yes, Soidul, go ahead.
Well, when one should go interview, like I'm sharing my experience. The dressing sense should be good. The one who is taking your interview, the HR or the recruiter, should first get your appearance, your dressing sense should be good, and with the good CV. And like Raju Hajat mentioned and previously Claudia mentioned, like each and every interview they throw a question like, tell me something about you. And that's a very big question when they say, well, it's not they don't want to know about the CV, because they have already in your CV, and they know all about your qualification, your interest, or your family. Maybe what are the things you have given your CV, they know. But when they have asked, but I really told about my backstory. I really told about my backstory, which is not in my CV. I didn't mention in my CV how I have came to this position, or how I have came to ZUKI, and how ZUKI supported me, and with the help of your backstory always play good role in interview, to crack interview. Your HR, and with obviously with your skills, with your education is matter, but your backstory and the way you present yourself, that's also an important thing. And when I told my HR about my backstory, and my HR was really impressed, and he was really very happy. And when I told about the distance, that I live maybe out of Kolkata, so it will be very much difficult for me to travel. And he really suggested me, before offering the job letter, he given me a number. They contact with this number, and he will provide you the location within the office boundary, or within the office 5 kilometers, you will get a house to live. So he was really very much impressed. So before offering me the job letter, he's given me the contact number of the person to get a house nearby the office. So that was really a good gesture from HR, and I was really happy to make him happy, that make him believe that yes, I am eligible for your job. So that's a very good, important to believe in yourself and make yourself a good presenter in front of your HR, that you can do, and you must have confidence. Whatever you say in an interview, you must have confidence. It's not that you must, if you don't know something, say, I don't know. But if you don't try to over smart, you know, that if you don't know and you say, yes, I don't know, I will try to know about it. And if you don't know it and you're trying to be smart and you're giving a wrong answer, that's not a good thing to do in the interview. I would like everyone to suggest that when you will go to interview, don't get panic while seeing the hundred of people are there and they will select only 5 people or they will select in the 2 people. Think positive. You might be the one out of 10. You might be the one.
Yes, a great example of positive thinking. But so in the beginning, you told us that you have to be dressed properly. What did you wear? Was it like a jacket and a skirt?
Dress properly means is like every company want a person should come in a formal dress. You know, it's not like they should come like a dress, regular dress, or the chain or the formal or with the goggles. A company need a formal dress, like a formal official dress for the first in an Indian company. But it's depend upon the company. If you are going in the advertisement or marketing, they need casual dress. If you are in casual dress in the marketing or advertisement, they don't have a really matter. But if you are going for a banking sector, they need a proper formal dress. So these are the small things that you really get to know before you walk into the interview. That what are the steps you need to do. It's like a to-do list that before you go. So these are the things step by step you should do. It's not that before 1 hour interview you are thinking what I should do, what I will do. So it will be very much difficult for you to crack the interview.
But I think this is really a very good example. Thank you, Soidol, for sharing with us, because I can remember when we started our coaching sessions, it was you who said, you know about our background, and you were a little bit, I would say, ashamed. You said you don't really want to tell it because, you know, maybe people are reacting not in a positive way. And now you just told that it impressed your interviewer, that you really had a difficult start into life and you made the most out of it. I think this is a very good example how, you know, a negative thinking can be turned, Sigrid, isn't it?
I would say the same. When I heard a little bit about your background, I was extremely impressed. I wouldn't say or I would say it's easier in Austria. When I think about my studies, when I applied for a job, even it was not even it was not easy, but you know, it's your situation, you had to prove much, much more, and it's extremely impressive, really. I think the same. I think if I would have a job interview with one of you, knowing about your background, knowing that it was not easy to find a college, you know, there are a lot of reasons, I would be extremely impressed how you made it, really. It's the opposite.
You know, one thing is when interviewer or HR know about your background, then the basis of the judgment also come in a very parallel way, because each and everyone don't get a same facility for their education or for their each and everything. So maybe one person is having 90% and I am having only 50% or 60%. So when he knows my story, then he can judge in a parallel way. Maybe due to this reason I've got the 50%, or due to this reason he got the 90%. So it's very important to tell your background story, or it's background story. It's not about everything reflect on the mark sheet that what percentage you get, but it's always reflect on you and how you are.
Yes, it's true, because you know the result is not the percentage, is not everything. As you said, you have to know the story behind, because some people they started later, for instance, with school, or there are lots of reasons where maybe you have a lower percentage, but you are as smart as the other ones.
I think we heard right now a different mindset. Are you realizing it? We had a lot of reasons why we will have a good chance in the future getting a job. So I can tell myself the first story, or the second story? And sure, it's not only the story, but sure, I have to prove something. We heard it. We have to have a good education. We have to work hard. We have to be convinced. We have to have this strong belief in ourselves. But you know, the story, the first one or the second one is different.
Yes.
This is and what you proved in this kind of discussion, that sure, there is, the population is increasing, the economy is not in the best situation, there is competition, but what you proved when I was listening to you, and you're totally right, it depends also a lot of yourself, on yourself. What you are doing, what kind of confidence you have, what kind of attitude you have, if you're convinced about yourself or not. You have a lot of a lot of reasons are lying in yourself. So I would like to ask you now, after, you know, we could continue, but, you know, I would like to ask you the question again. Did your worrying change right now? So I asked the question again, are you the same worried about the future, that you won't get the job? Hearing all that, did the confidence change?
Truly speaking, after cracking the first interview, and currently I am working, so I am really getting, I got really very much confident that yes, I can work into other companies. So, you know, because it's really all about the chance. Once you get one chance, you can build your own chance. It's like that. If you get one chance in any company or any field or job, you will create your own way or own chance, that how to get in another company, another high position, or another that level, next level. It's really, after getting this, I've got my confidence little bit. So
perfect.
It's so good to hear you speak, Seidel. I can't tell you how good it is to hear what you're saying.
Thank you.
You really help all of us, because it's so important to hear your opinion. And it's not just an opinion, it's your experience. And it's so important hearing that all. You know, you can just, as I said, you can tell yourself the first story or the second story, and it makes a difference. And it's so important to tell yourself all the time, I did my works, I did my study, I did work hard, you know, I really did I did contribute, you know, and I'm convinced about myself. And this is really increasing the chance of getting a job, of succeeding in a job interview. It's so good what you said. So my question is, how can we change now the first sentence what we had? So we are doing right now the opposite of the first sentence. The sentence was the problem statement. I'm worried about the future because I won't get a job. After the discussion right now, how can you change it? What would be right? What is much more right?
No, Sigrid, I would like to give a good example about this. One of the student from our ZUKI, one of the student, he asked me that will I get the job in future? Will I get the job in future, with a big question mark in his face? So I have given a set of example about Jagat, Surjo, Raju Kamar, Suvasis, that they are all there in the different field. One is doing engineering, a doctor or computer engineer, anything. But whatever you do, don't compare with others. It's like that. If you are comparing with others, that he's doing good, then it will be very difficult for you or for me to achieve. Do what do best in your field. If I am good at my field, then I will do my best. So I told him that don't worry, that what I am doing, if I am not getting job, it doesn't mean that you will not get the job. If you are good at your field, you will definitely get the job. And yes, there might be a difference if I am getting a less salary and Suju is getting a good salary. It doesn't mean that you will not get a job. Yes, you will get a job. Each and everyone will get job in future, maybe today or tomorrow. Maybe today or tomorrow. There will be a time span, but yes, you will succeed. You will succeed. There will be a time. Just work hard in yourself. And I really don't want to mention the name of the boy, but he really very much convinced, and he was really very happy about that answer. And he really asked the question about Subhas is doing really good. No, don't compare yourself. Look at them. They are doing good, and try to follow them. It's not like that. If you're looking at that, if you're trying to reach them, that's not a good idea. That we are trying to reach someone's place. Try to reach on your path and follow your path. You will reach definitely, and that's really very much important in our life.
So true. What you said, don't compare yourself to others. It's true. Everybody
Yes.
is so unique, is so exceptional, is so, don't compare yourself to others. Totally true.
Though really we are in Indian culture or in Indian society, Claudia, Malis, Sabina, they really visited in India, but more than once or several times. They really know about it. So because of the situation, we feel worry about it. We feel little bit worrisome, but at the same time, if you work hard and work smart, yes, we can achieve definitely. Maybe it will take a little bit time, but yes, we can. There is nothing that we cannot. We can.
Great mindset, Soidul. I'm completely impressed because it changed so much. Last year you were speaking differently, so now it's complete. It went into a very positive way. Very good.
And Soidul, he is my role model, Claudia. One day the father told him that now you have to rent the house by yourself. So Soidul was struggling few months ago, and now he got the job and he gives the rent by himself. Everything he do by himself.
Yes, I was also telling you, Soidul. No more excuses. Now go ahead, and you did it.
That's what you said. What is so true. I just realized about myself. I did what I have to do, and then I can be convinced about myself. That's what I always say the same. I did my best to reach that target, and now I can be confident. And this is so important. Yeah, very important. So my question is, again, hearing the problem statement at the beginning, I worry about my future because of not getting a job. How would you change it now? This is not a turnaround. Make a turnaround. What is more true?
Please come again.
The sentence was, I worry about my future because of not getting a job. How would you change now the sentence? What is more true?
Well, that was really worry that when you don't get the job, that's really worry that what will happen. But at the same time, what I just said, the time. Maybe
but so Sigrid means, how would you formulate this sentence now, according to your mindset? Because we want to change the stories, we want to change the sentences that are leading, that are guiding us. So Sigrid started with the sentence, I'm worrying not getting a job. And so you have a complete different mindset. So how would you express it?
In just one sentence, in that sentence.
No, now I don't really worry. The sentence you have said before, now when once I overcome, I really totally different mindset about it. That it's like it's like overturn. Overturn that how I have achieved and what are the steps I have followed. It's really,
but now would you say I'm convinced getting a job? What would you say now if you just, for instance, would have to look for another job? what is your inner voice telling you now? I'm convinced getting a job, or I'm not worrying so much anymore. How would you tell it?
Yeah, it's like the sound where once I'm overcoming it, I'm really convinced that yes, I'm
convinced.
looking forward for another company.
This is the first turnaround. The first turnaround can be, I'm convinced based on what I did, I can be convinced that I get a job in the future. Yes. It's the first turnaround. Another turnaround, I offer you a funny turnaround. A funny turnaround can be, other students have to worry about the future because I get the job. And you know, it's a funny turnaround, yeah? It's another turnaround. I don't have to worry. I did my country. I did my what I have to do. I worked on my confidence, and now others have to worry because I get the job. Can be another turnaround. You know, you have to find the appropriate turnaround for yourself. But listening to you, Soidul, you said your turnaround is, I can be confident. Based on what I did, I can be confident to find a job in the future.
Yes. And I think, yeah, from what Sigrid has said and from what Rinku said a few sessions ago, both of them turned their weakness into their strength. Both talked about the background and how difficult life has been. And therefore, we're not just privileged wealthy Indians. It's easy to be privileged and wealthy and get good grades. Both of you showed that actually your story was a much more difficult story. So the successes you had are therefore much more real. So in fact, all of you on this screen could say that you've all got the same unique selling point that you've already proven yourselves. All of you. You've already proven yourselves against any wealthy, privileged, middle-class Indian young person. You've already got to where they are and overtaken them, and they have not got your experience of growth because they've never experienced anything other than privilege. So you've got actually a strength in your weakness that a lot of people don't have. So a turnaround could be that due to my unique start in life, I feel confident that I'm going to be the better person for the job. You know, perhaps.
And it's important is hearing, for example, the turnaround from Sabine. Having this kind of mindset makes a big change on your life. Your life becomes different, not just because of applying in a different way for a job, but life in general becomes different. You feel that? How a negative mindset is not just influencing the chance based on that example for getting a job, but it has an influence on your life in general.
Yes, in general also, it's like when negative energy changes into positive, you know, it's really plays in very important role. Like feeling very much positive when it's very much negative thought, no, that I will not do, I can't, maybe I will not. It's every time negative thought, but after getting it, it's really very much positive vibes, and I'm very much positive now. And like Sabina mentioned, now is really we are positive about it.
And you realize now this is the answer to the fourth question, because the fourth question is, who would I be without the negative story? So just remember the story we told each other at the beginning has such an influence on our life, not just on the future job, but having this kind of mindset right now. I mean, I feel that we all feel differently, no? It makes a big change on your life in general. Isn't it so?
Yes, yes.
So this was an example based on one problem statement, how we could use the work and how useful the work is if we really work on negative mindset, on wrong mindsets, and when we really work on it and change the mindset, what kind of influence it has on our targets, on our life in general. And Sabine, I think we decided that we write down, the work based on that problem statement, that you get it in a written form, following one question after the other, that you have a document on one problem statement, how the work works.
Yeah, I'll write that up and put it in the group.
Good. This was everything from my side. I really hope that you understand better what the work means, how the work helps, how whatever problem you face in the future, how you could do the work. Or are there any more questions?
I would like to ask Anuradha, because yesterday you told me that it was a difficult process to get admitted at this very well-reputed governmental college. So your mindset, how was it changing? Or I can imagine that some days you were positive, some days you were negative, because you had to wait for really many months to get the admission, to get the okay that you are in. So what was your moods? How did you think about it?
I was worried, but at the same time I was also confident, because I think you have I think if you remember, before the admission process, once you have asked me about whether you will be able to make through or not.
Yes.
Even I will not name, but there were other people who were telling me not to take admission because it is very difficult to get through it. But still, I had confidence from the beginning only. Even before my results, also I had confidence.
And what made you confident?
I was because. Throughout, even this time we didn't had our boards, but I was very sure that I was putting efforts from the beginning only to make it good, because I know I had to get admission in a very good college. So so in that way I was very sure that I'll be achieving a good marks, even though it is from the school, they will only decide, but I was in that way I was confident.
So you had no doubts, but sometimes when we were texting, you were telling me, oh, I'm worried, I'm anxious, I don't know if I can make it. There are so many who want to have this admission on this merit list. So you just
Yes, that's true. In between, I was confused because the results. When I saw others' results, I really didn't had any idea, because even people who have got a 95% also, they were also not getting the chance. Mm-hmm. So that so in that way, I was worried in that time. But later on, I was.
Yeah, you were waiting. And you got the confidence. I think it's a good example for what Soidul said in the beginning when we were talking about the role models. He said you need to be patient. And also, yes, exactly. This is right, because so many, also when I started, I was not confident, and you just have to try and practice, and patience is also very important. And then not many people are aware of that, because the most thing I'm just running and I will get it very quickly, whatever I want. Excuse me, Anuradha. You want?
So, and I was also confused in between, because the registration was not confirmed, and they were since this time we didn't had our boards, so they were also checking our class 10 results. Mm-hmm. So that time I was worried, much more worried, but then it was. At the end it became, when I was confirmed with the result, I saw the merit list that time, that confusion actually went away.
So it was a roller coaster of feelings.
Yes.
And Sigrid, by using the work, you could make it a little bit more stable, maybe, the mindset.
Yes, and you said something very important at the beginning. You said, I didn't believe in the stories of the others.
Yes, exactly.
For the college, a lot of people told me their stories that I want, get the permission for the college. And you decided, I don't believe it. I believe in my story. This is very important. Second point, what I would like to tell you, confidence is also a decision. Confidence is not that I'm getting from the sky.
Exactly.
Confidence is also a decision. This is very important. You can decide to be confident or you can decide not to be confident. Confident is a decision. That's very important to tell you. Third point, as you said, Claudia, it doesn't mean when I decide to be confident today, it's the same tomorrow. Based on situations we're in, you have to struggle for confidence. You know, it's not that the confidence is not always the same. Today is like that, tomorrow it's different, but you always have to decide. And I can, based on my experience, I can tell you, you know, for confidence, you also have to struggle.
Exactly.
But it's a better decision to decide for confidence than the opposite. Decide for it. It's much better and it's a decision. It's also based on studies. Confidence is also a decision. It's not also only based on experience. It's also based on decision. And I can decide to be confident or not. Anuradha. Very important. I don't believe the story of others. I believe in my story. And I tell myself another story. Perfect.
Very good. Okay.
Azad,
are there any more questions of anybody?
Azad, do you want to say something? Your hand is up.
Yes, I want to share the same story what Anuradha faced. It was me after completing class 10, I really took the option to do some courses, but I got so many rejection and so many objection that it's not a good idea. You have to do class 11 and 12. You have to complete graduation. But I was totally confident and believing myself that yes, I have the faith, I have the courage, and I will do it. So I was just worried that if I can get the support for the getting admission in Polytechnic College. So I was rushing with all my CV and all my planning. I was speaking with Claudia first time in Flotel restaurant, and we were discussing about it. And finally, I got the chance to get the admission. And I proved at the end of my course, I was the best among the whole college. And I finally successful getting in that. And without completing my class 11 and 12, I got rejection because I was not good at all in mathematics. But because of that, many teachers also told me that you are not good in science group, so it's better you not go for admission in there, you do something else. But I don't know, I will do it because I have full confidence and I was very practical oriented in the field. I got the admission. I was very much interested with technologies and kind of devices. So eventually at the end of this course, I was successful. I got the 92% and that's
Great.
it. So it was a confidence and
perfect story. Such a perfectly articulated story.
Wonderful. Okay, because I have to leave in 10 minutes. So is either Marlies, you take over and explain for the next session, or is there anything else to say? But today I have to rush. Okay, Marlies, so then you are explaining about our next session.
It's quickly done. So we will meet on 22nd of February. And 2 points of today lead exactly to our next coaching, like the daily contribution and the point of no more excuses. So both points fit exactly in our into our next coaching. So I show you what kind of preparation I would like you to make to have a good start with maximum output for everybody. So I think that everybody has the book, The Compound Effect of Darren Hardy, because it's a very efficient way to reach goals. And if you did not yet start reading, so please start reading, or if you are already in the middle of the book, continue reading. It's a good basis for the coaching. It's not necessary, but it's a good basis. So you take more out of the coaching if you know the content of the book already, but it will work without that also. So as preparation, I would like you, because before we can reach goals, we have to define them very precisely. The more precisely you define your goals, the more quickly and with more more quickly you will reach them. So please define 5 to 10 important points for your perfect future life. How should your perfect future life look like? Just define 5 to 10 important points. Then describe one perfect day, just from the morning to the evening of your future life. And then I send you copies called goal designing. This is also out of the book, Compound Effect. And there you see the wheel of life, different fields in your life. And as a part of your preparation, please make a very spontaneous rating. How happy are you with the present situation in these fields? Just put 1 point in the middle, near the middle, 1 point if it's not satisfying, and 10 points if it's very satisfying, perfect. Okay, and then you will see how it looks like. Maybe relationship 5, physical 8, financial 3, business. Instead of business, please put studies. Okay, because business is not yet your field, but studies is a good field. So you just define the how satisfied you are with the present situation in these fields, and then please design one goal in one of these fields. Like maybe I want to improve my health, or I want to improve my fitness. I want to improve my studies, mental maybe. I want to develop new skills, family. I want to have better relationship with some members of my family, or better relationship with my friends, with people in general, etc. So just take one goal out of these fields. That's enough. And next time we will work on these first goals. And during the 2 sessions we will have, we will work on 3 different goals in 3 different fields. You choose freely for yourself, and you set the level you want to reach, and then we will try to go step by step in this direction.
Mm-hmm. Sounds very interesting. I will tell Louise also then to all the exercise you gave to us, that she is putting it and we can have a link so everybody can just, we will make like a questionnaire we usually have. So you will have all the questions then to answer for your homework.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Are there any questions?
Can I contribute? Sounds very interesting.
Yes,
thank you.
Please come and join, please, Sigrid. 22nd Tuesday again, but also this we will put into the group, the WhatsApp group, so you will have the date and the time. Okay, fine. Good. We are looking forward. Thank you.
Come up, so just put them into the chat.
And everybody has the book as a gift from you, Mali, so you can read it beforehand and you will be much better prepared even.
And from today, Sigrid, can you put the documents from today into the group, or send them to Louisa?
To Lisa, she's putting,
Then everybody can take down the summary of the work and a reminder of what that's all about from today.
Great. Okay, this was a very, very interesting session.
Yeah,
and thank you everybody for joining. So many have joined without us, you know, threatening. You just came because you're interested. So this is the best sign that our sessions are very useful and for your life. And we also like very much to see you. This is, yes, also heartwarming for us seeing you again and talking to you, exchanging, knowing more about your daily life, about your successes, about your worries. So thanks a lot. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. And, you know, if there's any doubts, any problems, you just text us. All of you have our numbers and we are glad getting some messages from you. Okay.
I would like to tell you something. You can be so much proud of yourselves, really. And you have, I heard so many great stories, so reasons for to tell yourself positive stories, and you have really the power for to face every problem. Really, be proud of yourself. Really.
Okay. So
there's a lot of good karma already working.
Yeah. And you're also role models for us. You know, we keep on learning and watching you. It's very inspiring for us too. Okay, so bye-bye. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming, for joining. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Tschüss, Wiedersehen.
Bye, everyone.